Hello and welcome to Food Pantry Customer Service. This training is a collaborative effort between Community Action Partnership, Hunger Free Lancaster County, and the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank.
The contributors of this training are listed on the slide here. My name is Megan Zook, and I will be one of your guides for this short training today.
My name is Laura Whitaker Escobar, and I'll be the other guide for today. Let's get started.
In today's training, we will cover the following topics on the slide here. The main purpose of today's training is to talk about some of the ways that neighbors could be mistreated by staff and volunteers when they visit a food pantry. So we will talk about an issue and give guidance on how to change your mindset or your actions to avoid situations where neighbors can be mistreated. Remember that any negative interaction could turn them away from returning for future food pantry services that they want and need. Something to ask yourself is, why do you volunteer at or work at the food pantry? Whatever your reasons are, they may be because you want to help out. Maybe you received help before and want to give back, like the example here on the slide. Then I want you to take a moment and look at the behavior example that we have listed here. Have you ever done this while volunteering? This is an example of misaligned intentions and behaviors. It's easy to let happen and can affect how you treat the neighbors coming in to receive food. So the main point of this slide and what we want you to take away from it is to ask yourself, what brings you to volunteer or work at the food pantry? And does your behavior match that?
Let's talk about body language. Body language is universal and often a reflection of internal feelings. When practicing positive body language, no words need to be said to convey that you're an approachable person that is ready to welcome a neighbor into your pantry. And even when you do say words, the warmth in your voice can help someone know you are being kind, even if it is not the same language that is spoken. The same is true for negative body language. A neighbor is entering a food pantry and the first person that they interact with is displaying negative body language signs that are here on this slide. What do you think the neighbor may feel? Maybe fear, judgment, hesitation. All things can lead to a traumatic experience, a sense of non-welcoming and non-belonging. The first interaction and all the other ones with pantry staff and volunteers is so important. It dictates how welcome someone feels and how willing they would be to come back for services. Inadvertent patronization, put simply, is unintentional policing neighbors in a food pantry in any circumstance where they think they might be enforcing a rule, but the way that it comes across can be harmful, lead to fear, hesitation, feelings of judgment, embarrassment, and even re-traumatization. What does that look like in the pantry setting? When a neighbor takes too much accidentally from one area and they're getting scolded for it, or their food is taken out of their basket for them. When a volunteer comments on how much food a neighbor takes from an unlimited quantity section. It also appears when volunteers follow neighbors throughout the food pantry and are maybe shopping around, keeping a close eye on them. What we want to do is avoid these scenarios. The need for food is universal, and people can be trusted to select food for their own needs and for their own household. When a pantry and its workers approach food this way, everyone is given the go-ahead to relax on heavy food policing practices. It allows a neighbor to navigate the food pantry with ease and be treated the way everyone deserves to be treated, with dignity and respect as experts of their own lives. It also allows volunteers to navigate the food pantry smoothly as well.
How you choose to see others, your pantry neighbors, will directly translate to how you treat them. How you treat neighbors influences how others treat them, like other volunteers or staff. Also, how you treat neighbors influences how neighbors treat and feel about themselves. A green lens, then, explained on the slide here, is supportive and empowering for our neighbors. A red lens is the opposite. So the point of this slide is that everyone, especially our neighbors, who may feel very vulnerable when coming to receive food, should be seen through a green lens So they are treated well by you, your coworkers, or your other volunteers, and so they are supported and empowered to treat themselves well also.
When we use our green lens to think and talk about pantry neighbors, we should also use something called person-first language. Person-first language is a way of speaking that emphasizes a person as a whole, rather than reducing their personhood to their disability, disease, or condition. The goal of person-first language is to avoid language that stigmatizes or dehumanizes people. This slide has some examples here. It might take some time to make this language shift, but it is so very important to do so because of the subtle way that it can change how you think about, how others think about, and how neighbors come to think of themselves. This slide has a video on empathy, something we all have, but we can all improve upon. Empathy is very important in food pantry settings, and this video does a great job of giving examples of what empathy is and what empathy isn't. After this video, our training on customer service skills will be complete. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch and to hope that the topics discussed were helpful to you today, your staffers, and your volunteers. Thank you.